And welcome everyone to yet another episode of the Speed Report here on Twitch Monster 27 and on 105 The Drive on the YouTube side. So we thank everyone for joining us today. As usual, for all information dealing with the league, please check out the official website of KMR, thegamingriff.com, where you can check out trucks, X, and Cup Series, points, news, and more. If you are interested in joining KMR, I would say this season, but this season has filled up. So if you're interested in joining next season, please by all means message me, Sam Cook, 2728785, and I will get back with you on more details on how to sign up for KMR. We have a lot to talk about. We got a full team here. We've got Speedy. We've got Slothy back in black. Thanks for joining us, Slothy, as a guest. We got Hair Bear with us, and we've got JP, who will be back with us shortly. So we want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you, guys, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's get right underway. It's talking about the Truck Series first. Canadian Tire was what we thought it would be, a hot mess. We saw trucks everywhere at Canadian Tire. One thing was for sure, Wesley proved that he was ready to take on the challenge of battling for a championship. He gets the first win, but we have to start off first with Wool Tortoise, who gets a DNF after having a very good run start to his run there. Gets a DNF. How big was this for Wool Tortoise at Canadian Tire? Speedy, anybody?
It was pretty big. I mean, if he DNF'd, that means it's gonna hurt him in points, especially heading into the chase and whatnot. If it's not the first race of the chase, he's just gonna have to regroup and go out there and try to get the finishes we know he's capable of, and just try to stay away from the bad luck and the DNF, and 'cause that's not good to be doing.
Especially not at this moment. Hairbear, you run with Wool Tortoise, obviously in the X series, but if you're in his shoes in the Truck series, DNF the first race, and now you're headed to Talladega, which is a wild card. What's your mindset going into Talladega?
I mean, he's got to be patient, make the move at the right time, and just anything can happen at Talladega. So, yeah.
You're right about that. Literally anything can happen at Talladega. So maybe that anything that can happen could be Wool Tortoise getting himself in that 51 truck. Another truck that was really good all through the season, came up a little bit short, was the 99 of Pennzoil. Pennzoil Racer, very consistent. Obviously has the points needed to move himself up into the cup and get that one of those call-up seats if and when it becomes available. But boy, Canadian Tire was not kind to the driver of the 99. So, yeah, I didn't mean to rhyme that, but, that's just, we're going to roll with it. So, yeah, Slothy, you've managed or ran one of these lobbies while I've been gone at times for the Truck Series, and you've seen firsthand the speed that Pennzoil has. Can Pennzoil bounce back and get himself into the final round of the chase?
Yes, but he's just gonna have to be patient, and whenever the right time comes, if he can make the right move like at Talladega, which I know he's a stricter plate. Whenever me and him race together, he's also been he's pushed me a lot, and he's made the moves on me. But if he makes the move at the right time, gets the right amount of drafting to pull up to the car and it's leading, he can make the move and win the race.
Well, definitely keep an eye on any move that he makes. Again, part of that big three. So we'll pay close attention to what he can do in the future. What's up, my two viewers out there? The chat is live, so feel free to leave comments in the chat. Something that we could possibly talk about here on the Speed Report as we go along in this one. We also keep an eye on our battle down below. Dale Jr. fan shows up. Zack Attack, Mixer, Tons, Treshawn, Lawden, they're all in the hot seat position. So this is big moving forward because Dale Jr. fan in that number 63 truck can get some well-needed call-up points because he is very, very slow in the call-up points. We've seen Dale Jr.'s body of work throughout this regular season, the races that he has run. Speedy, what do you think Dale needs to do to improve on his skills and get himself
I'm back.
improve? What does he need to improve on?
First off, he needs to show up. If he starts showing up and whatnot, he just needs to stay patient, work on his setups, work on getting faster and whatnot. Just basically, just all around, just stay patient, stay focused. Try to keep it clean, and just go out there and try to get decent finishes. But mainly show up.
Yeah, for sure. JP, thanks for joining us, man. We're talking about Dale Jr. fan, driver of the number 63. I don't have a 63. Closest number is 68. We're gonna roll with it. But driver of the 63, Dale Jr. fan, he's been hit and miss, but he was there at Canadian Tire, ran into some lag out issues. What is you as we've seen Dale Jr. fan throughout the series, the races that he has ran? What does he need to improve on the most to be able to get himself as a contender next season in the truck series?
For me, personally, I believe is where you got to be at the right time. You got to make sure like how you like do your preset and stuff. Because how you Titan Lewis is very important to where you run on the track, and he's got to learn that he's got to be less aggressive because when I've seen he's been getting very aggressive, very we're to a point where he's kind of almost wrecking people. But there's got to be times where you can be aggressive, like when you're going for the lead, just do a bump and run, and if you have to block, just don't block very aggressively, where you wreck them. So you just gotta no, when you're trying to win a race, you gotta figure and want to be a contender. You gotta figure out how you're gonna keep your car up there, and who you can work with, and how you can get up pit road before everyone else. That's just the opinion for me.
All right, we'll keep a close eye on Dale Jr. fan. He shows up this race. Let's see if he continues to show up. The next race would be Talladega. Of course, everyone excited for the Talladega race and where that's gonna lead. We look at our chase contenders. Obviously, Wool Tortoise must-win situation right now. I think we could all agree. Wool Tortoise has to win a race in that 51 truck if he's going to advance. Wesley's in a unique position because he could really set the next two spots out of reach of all of the chase contenders by yet winning again at Talladega. But Terrier in that third spot and Foreign Whip in that second spot really look good. Terrier really a surprise there. Is Terrier for real? Is Terrier going to be a contender for this championship coming up here? From what you guys have seen so far.
Yeah, you can't really expect there's always an unexpected things happen. We've seen a lot of stuff that no one at least expected. Terrier's been proven himself. He just sometimes his luck kind of gets with him, but he has a good truck, and he proves himself to be a good driver. I believe he could be a contender.
Speedy, what's your take on Terrier's performance or Foreign's performance?
They both been showing really good speed, really good racing. They just gotta keep it up. It's still anybody's race, anybody's chase and stuff. Um, they just got to keep up what they've been doing. Just stay consistent, stay patient. Just keep doing what they've been doing, and um, let the cards fall as they may, and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm still learning how to work my mic here. Slothy, Terrier or Foreign? Moving on to the final round.
Uh, at Talladega, I would have to go with Terrier because Terrier has showed his speed and stuff, and at earlier in the season at Talladega, I think he finished what top five at the beginning at Daytona. So I think Terrier will probably end up bringing out his structure plate attitude and go get the win.
We'll definitely keep an eye on Terrier and more on Terrier later on in the show. So it's definitely going to be exciting for these drivers in this top six. Everyone's excited about the Talladega race, and it will be this Saturday at its normal time at 6 o'clock EST, 6 p.m. EST. They're on either Jaron Hazen on the Twitch side and KMR TV 105 to Drive on the YouTube side, or it will be here on Twitch Monster 27 and 105 to Drive. Let's move on to our X Series because we had a very unique and interesting X Series race at Indianapolis. Yeah,
That's a fair.
Indianapolis was a very fun race to watch. Who was in the broadcast booth with me? Was it? I think it was Dale Jr. was with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
It was still junior because I couldn't make it.
Yeah, but it was, man, that was an exciting race.
Yeah,
It came down to the wire. One person we have to talk about in the midst of that was our race winner and how he won this race. And that was Hindu in the 00. Ever since he has come into the X Series, he has absolutely turned on the bonus. And it has been an impressive run for him. He has moved from a hot seat all the way up to now 11th place. He is 15 points out of 9th. Just an incredible run. Now, can Hindu make it into the chase before the chase starts? Can he make it into the top 9 before the chase starts?
I personally believe so because if he got to win, he got a lot of momentum coming into the next race. So if he can stay up there and get consistent and lead some laps and get another win, he could get up there with the others to contend for that championship. So it's possible. So I think he can do it. I have belief in him.
Yeah, Speedy, what you think about Hindu? Obviously, we get a chance to run with him on the Cup side, but what he did on that X side was just impressive. He just took a hold of that race and dominated it. Can he keep this performance up and get himself into the top 9?
I believe he can. He as long as he just keeps his head down, stays focused. He's been showing really good speed and getting really good finishes and stuff. As long as he just keeps that up, tries to stay consistent, I think he's got a chance to really upset some people.
Slothy, what's been the big change for Hindu? We've seen Hindu in the past. It does not look like he has the speed, attendance issues. What's been the big change for the driver of the 00?
I guess he's been showing up to races, getting in attendance like he does in the Cup car because he's showed up pretty much almost ever since he's teamed up with Paintbrush. After a couple of races when he missed, he's been showing up almost every race. I guess that's where he's got that new alliance with Paintbrush and got that new teammate in the Cup Series that helps him out with the Xfinity setup.
It could be the case, but Hair Bear, what do you think's been accountable for the speed that we have seen compared to times past, even when he has showed up, times past where he hasn't looked as fast? What's been the difference between the speed we've seen in the past and the speed we see now?
Uh, I mean, he does pretty have a fast car. I mean, he just gotta show up more, and um, there might be a chance he might make it to the chase in the top nine. And yeah.
We'll have to pay attention to that because obviously the wins are not going to carry him in. He has to point his way in. So making it easy is the driver of the 4. We have to talk about him. He's on the cusp. He's sitting in 9th place. He's 15 points ahead of the driver of the 00. Woozy Emu is the driver of the 4. What is up with Woozy in the X series, especially after we see his performance in the trucks? Um, Guys, is he in danger of falling out of this thing?
I believe so because if before the race of that, if he has another couple bad races, it could put him down the points and he could be eliminated. So I can see the concerning because I think he's got to pick up his game for the next couple races. He's need to lead some laps, be consistent most of the race, and get like a top 3 or top 5 is his best decision to do to try to stay in the chase. Because if he has more bad races, he's gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah, Speedy, Slothy, headed into Talladega now. What does the 4 have to do to make sure that he doesn't become a victim of poor performances here that has dropped him so quickly? Because we're talking about a driver who was running top 5, top 6 in points for most of the season here in the X Series, and we've seen in the last 3 races just really, really poor performances. And I think Indianapolis capped it off with a really, really bad performance by the 4. What's this mentality need to be going into Talladega?
I would have to say he needs to just be focused on just staying clean. Try to stay out of the big one because there's always a big one. Just try to maybe get some allies, get some people out there that's going to help him in the draft and whatnot, and go with them and work with him in the draft and stuff, and just go out there and try to do the best he can. Just try to be there at the end and get a good finish. It's number one thing he needs to be focusing on, in my opinion.
Yeah, Slothy, what you got for us?
I have to back Speedy up on that one because he's just got to stay focused and get ready for Talladega and get out there and get at least like good friends to work with him and draft with him. Because if you don't have friends at Talladega, Speedy will probably back me up on this. You ain't going nowhere in the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so JP, Slothy, let's say you're the driver of the 4. You're
Mm-hmm.
going in here to Talladega. You're loading up. You're getting ready to run. What would you do? You're sitting here. You're 15 points above the cutoff. You got Josh chasing you. Josh is actually closer, which we'll get to Josh in a little while. But Josh is actually closer. But we're talking about Hindu with such great speed. Hindu's probably lined up somewhere around you. What do you do? What's your mindset coming into this race?
If I'm in the 4 seat, I gotta make sure I gotta figure out a way to get up there, and you gotta make sure to make if you always gotta make a move because if no, yeah, like Swaffy and Speed said, and no one goes with you, you're pretty much screwed. So you gotta make sure you get someone's trust to where you can get help, like. Because it's better going as if you got a lot of help on the outside, you can pass the leader, and then you can block down, you can control the thing. But if you're in a 4 situation, during a race, you gotta be very aggressive. Not too aggressive where you wreck someone. You gotta be aggressive to where because you gotta move. If someone leaves an opening up for you, you take it. If they shove you down, you gotta move them out of the way so you can be up there. So if I was the four, I would do that so he can try to stay himself in the chase. Because if he doesn't, he's putting himself in bigger of a hole. What about you, Jody?
Uh, I would say if I was the Ford and I was loading into this race coming up on Saturday night, I'd end up doing 110% going after the win to officially lock myself into the playoffs. Because I know he's only behind, but if I couldn't get the win, I'd keep Josh behind me. If he tried to pass me on the high side, I'll block him on the high side. If he tried to pass me on the bottom, I'll make sure I'm right down the yellow line where he can't go underneath me.
Yeah, definitely. You get in line, you try to find the fastest line, and you try to get up there. What's most important out of anything is he's got to finish ahead of the 00. He's got to finish ahead of the 83. Though it's mandatory that he has to finish ahead of those two because that ensures that they cannot gain points on you if you finish ahead of them. So he's got his work cut out for him in a field that has been just absolutely stunning to run, and everyone's going to be excited for Talladega. So you can bet everyone's going to be there running Talladega.
Oh
It's
yeah,
going to be big.
for
So
sure.
yeah, so he's got his work cut out for him. He's sitting right there on the cut line.
Yeah.
Talking more about drivers who needed good finishes, we have to talk first off about the 27 of Hair Bear, and let's talk about Hair Bear for a second. Hair Bear, man, you got that second place finish. Just tell us a little bit more. Obviously, we heard you on your post race interview, but tell us a little bit more about how you feel that finish helped you in your season.
I mean, it was great for me getting that second place in Indy, but just that other race, we just gotta focus more on the next race, try to get that win.
And that's some good choice words there, Heber.
So I'm looking here at the chase points. Obviously, we're talking chase cap is 500. You got us at 463. That's 37 points. That's 37 points, Hair Bear. So here's my question to you. Obviously, the person behind you is 102 points behind. That's Wool Tortoise. Are we going to the chase after Talladega, or are you going to try and delay this thing a little bit? What are you thinking right now?
We just gotta see and find out for tomorrow night.
We just have to see and find out. So while you're contemplating on that and leaving us in La La Land, I am going to mute my ESPN updates. Good Lord, and I am going to talk to Speedy real quick. Speedy,
Yes.
what should Hair Bear do heading into this potential chase, being so close? Should Hair Bear bring the series into the chase after Talladega, or should he look to delay, possibly pushing it towards Michigan or maybe even later than that?
If it was me, I would go ahead and keep going and just show up and run. Just get the series done. Get a good lead, keep the good lead, and just go for it. He's in a good chance of getting the championship as long as he just can show up, get the good finishes, possibly get still a win or so. Especially at Dega, he's good at Dega. He's got a good chance of winning. Just go out there and just show up and just race. Just give it your all and go out there and just try to win this championship. That's what I would do if I was him.
All right, Slothy, do you agree with that? If you're in the hands of the 27, the series is in your hands. You got control over it. You're looking at where that championship race could be. Do you delay, or do you go ahead and say, "Hey, we're starting to chase right now"?
I would go out there and at least finish out the season. I know I have I know I can go out for a championship because that's what I'm gonna do, which I know I've been doing all stuff this year. I know I'm gonna go out there, and if I was Herbert, I was gonna go out there and just give it my all and go for the championship.
All right. So if any hint, Hair Bear, you got two that say send this thing to the chase. JP, what about you? We're going to the chase, or would you hang around a while in the regular season?
For me, I say go with the chase. Like for example, I was in the same situation Herbert was like a long time ago. Like, it was like before the chase started, and I had to finish it in front of one driver who I was tied with. So I ran my
And
race. I finished in front of him, and I got into the chase, and that's how my whole chase started. So for
uh,
Herbert, so yeah, I have like Jody and Speedy said. I say be there, always show up, and always be consistent, and just give it your all, and make sure you don't take anything from anyone, and just make sure you just show that you proved while you're there, and you want to be the championship winner. That's just me.
I agree with all you guys. Honestly,
thank you all, guys. You
I
just
just thought
reminded
I
me
would.
of that.
I just would throw that out there, though, that question out there. But honestly, Hair Bear, with the momentum that he gained at Indianapolis with that second place finish, you keep going. You keep going. Get that 27 to victory lane at Talladega, um, and go ahead and seal the deal. Go ahead and go to the chase because two things. Number one, if you delay it, now you have the possibility of the double zero getting working his way in, especially with the poor performances of the four Woozy Emu, um, and a few others that could drop through the standings. You've got Josh that's only 5 points ahead of Hindu. You got Wolfpack that's 5 points behind Hindu. Also got Mixer who's in the mix. No pun intended. So you could run the risk of Hindu continuing to gain momentum. Now he gets himself in on points, all of a sudden, but you go to Talladega, you have success. Hindu gets involved in a big one. You go into the chase, Hindu's not there. All of a sudden, you have only one person that's super fast that you have to worry about, and that's Omari instead of two. So, big deal. I'd say take him to the chase, man. Get him to the chase, and go ahead and do this thing. So, I definitely agree with that. Speaking of, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Speedy.
I mean, also he needs to think. I mean, he's on a roll. He's been getting really good finishes. He's got some momentum up on his side right now. No sense in losing that momentum by taking a week off. Go out there, keep your momentum, keep showing what you got, and just go out there and keep trying to dominate.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of momentum, these are the guys that need momentum. Dale Jr. in the one. Obviously, Dale been able to run both here in the X Series as well as in Cup. Obviously, work schedule has a lot to do with his performance out there on the racetrack. But how important are this Talladega race going to be for Dale Jr., who's really not out of danger of falling out of this thing?
Very important because if before going into the chase, I mean, you want to like go in there and not have to worry about it until like the chase like restarts everything where everyone has the same points. So like you need to like you still need to be consistent. So don't like swag off during a race. You need to still be consistent, even though you're so high in points. You still need to make sure you go in the race and come out with some good points. So if you want to go for that championship, you need to be consistent. You can't swag off for the race that even before the chase, and you have a high points. But yeah, so no swagging. That's just me.
We've seen Dale Jr. hit and miss here and there as far as his race finishes. Had a decent finish at Indy. Had a poor finish It's had some really good finishes. Dale Jr. been kind of hit and miss. Obviously, we hope his attendance will work out for him. We want to thank our 3 viewers out there who've been viewing out there. Thank you very much for being here with us in the speed report up here for this week. I want to talk real quick. We talked, I think last week, speed report. We talked a little bit about it, but I just want to kind of hit it again because yet another race, yet another third place finish or second place finish or not a win. How important is winning going to be in the postseason if the 9 of Foreign Whip wants to win the championship? How important, Slothy, is getting the victory lane going to be for him?
Um, it's going to be very important for him to get to victory lane to lock him into a next round, or even could even lock him into the final round to the final 4, so he can go after that championship. But I would say he would definitely have to go out and get a win sometime in the postseason in the first round to lock him automatically into the second round.
Yeah. Not just that, like once you're walking to the second round, you're also walked into next season, which the points stay there. But you gotta, so you, like Jody said, like winning is very important. So if Warren wants to keep his championship hopes going and his next season have his ride, he's got to get that win or more wins to keep him in the championship or even go for the championship.
And it'll be good for him because he's looking to try and get to the Cup Series. In the Cup Series, you are going to have to win races to advance. There's just no ands,
Oh yeah,
ifs,
no
or buts
doubt.
about it. He's doing really good in the trucks, but what Speedy has been holding him out of victory lane? We've seen him pull up second places consistently, third places consistently. We've also seen, if it's not the 78 West, it's the 99. If it's not the 7, it's the 00. What is keeping the 9 out of victory lane?
Uh, honestly, I don't. I just think it's just he's got really good speed. He's got really good consistency. It's just he just hasn't quite figured out that one last little piece that he needs to figure out to get it to victory lane. But he's been working on it all season. He's gonna keep working on it, and I have a feeling before the season's up, I have a feeling we're gonna see that 9 truck in victory or that 9 car in victory lane. He's fast. He's good. He's just got to keep working on it and just figure out that one piece that's missing that's been holding him back out of victory lane, where he's been this consistent second, consistent third, and just get that one extra spot and take the checkered flag at the end of the race. He's capable of doing it, and I think he'll do it before the season's over.
Well, we hope so. Could possibly be Talladega. That's why Talladega is so exciting. Anyone can really win this race with the right timing and the right help. And we'll see if that 9 can run up front and stay out of trouble. So let's look one more time down here at the bottom. Before we talk about positions, basically 10 through 13, let's talk about our two new drivers to the series. The number 19, and that is Treshawn. And Treshawn ran a pretty decent race. Didn't get the finish that he would probably like, but he ran a pretty decent race. Slothy, how would you judge what he was able to do in his debut in the X Series?
He just needs to keep up probably his time. He just needs to practice more because he would realize he's also got a teammate crew over on the cup side. All he has to do is ask for help, and any of us could help him on the cup side because pretty much our same stuff would work on the Xfinity car. If it,
All right. What about you, JP? What do you think of his performance?
It's pretty good. Like just new drivers, new face, just starting out, showing that the even the rookies can be like the veterans, can show it up like every week and show like outrun them. I think he could be a contender at getting a like a contender for many championships coming his way. Like so, I believe he's going to be a lot to talk about in this upcoming future for him. I think he's got a good future.
All right, now obviously he will not earn enough call-up points to make it into the Cup Series, so we will see him next season in the X Series, and we'll really get a chance to see what he can do amidst the drivers that will be left remaining in the X Series or that will get called up. Obviously, he's in 16th in the hot seat position. Obviously, I know he wants to run and at least get his feet wet a little bit more in the X Series and see what he's matched up against. So what he's gonna have to do is use those team points, use those team points that he may have available to him, so that he can have the opportunity to get himself there. Tons in the 11, also a driver who is now in the series. And, excuse me, he's not in the 11. He's in the 51. We saw him make his debut in the 51. He got 40 points he earned in that Indianapolis race. He finished 6th, I believe. So, a really, really good performance for Tons. Slothy, between Tons and Treshawn next season, who do you think is going to have the upper hand just based on the performance we've seen?
I think Trishawn would have a little bit more better of a advantage and stuff because, like I was saying earlier, he's also got a team over on the Cup Series that's Joe Gibbs as well, like the Xfinity cars. They're also Joe Gibbs JGR, so all he has to do is come to us and we would help him. I don't care to help out people. Like I told everybody a couple of weeks ago. I don't care to help out. If you need help, just come and tell me.
Definitely. We want to thank you very much, our 5 viewers out there. Welcome to the Speed Report here. As we break down, now we're talking about the X Series right now. We talk about our two new
Drivers
to join the X Series. Yeah, our drivers to join the X Series. They got a ways to go. But now this creates a battle for the hot seat, and when the points reset, this battle will be magnified. So let's talk about these drivers that are going to be fighting to try and stay in. Between Josh, Wolfpack, Mixer, who gets into the top 9? Who's going to be battling for next season?
for me, because I've known Josh for a long time. And I know what he can do on the track, and he proves himself. Like every time I race him, he proves himself to be a contender in like every race. And so I believe he could pull off something and keep himself in the top 9.
Yeah, I think the key using those team points. Speedy, what about you?
They've been he's shown good speed. From what I've seen of him, he's just gonna have to just keep show up, keep working on the speed, keep be consistent, and just keep learning. The main thing is always keep learning. And no matter how good of a driver you are, there's something you can always learn every time you go on the track. So just keep learning and keep trying.
Slothy, between those 3, who you got getting in, and who do you have having to sit this chase out?
Who did again? My mic was muted.
Josh, Wolfpack, Mixer.
I have Wolfpack getting in because if he can keep his momentum up. Uh, like he done in the early part of the season, he can actually go out there and probably even win a couple more races. You can't ever tell about that number 2 RCR car.
That's Wool Tortoise. I'm talking about the 20. You mean the 21?
Oh, the 21?
Yeah, the 21 for Wolfpack. Yeah.
Yeah, Wolfpack, yeah. Wool just needs to help him uh with setups and stuff. But they're teammates. They just need to help each other.
Yeah, definitely. RCR could benefit greatly from a little more assistance. So yeah, if they work together out there, I could see your point. And I have Mixer. I think Mixer it can possibly get a win. I think he's on the borderline, I believe. If I had to look down at his stats real quick, um, borderline. I want to say borderline as far as whether those wins will be encumbered or not. So I'd say go out there and try to win it. Put yourself in the best possible position and surprise some of these guys that's trying to get into that top 9 that's down here. Wolfpack, Josh definitely had good runs. We'll see both of those drivers next season in the X Series. Not enough points to be called up. And just when you look at the performance overall, I think out of those 3, I think Ice would be one of the ones I'd say that could compete with the Cup Series side drivers. I think Wolfpack and Josh would struggle a little bit on that end. And so probably a little more time in that X Series will get them where they need to be, obviously. The battle for the battle for the team points not yet over, but really it's over. JR Motorsports is taking control of this thing with the duo of with the teaming up of both the 7, the 9, and the 1, all getting really good performance. 7-10. SHR is blowing JR is blowing the doors off of SHR. They've had a very good season, especially the 7. So that's pretty much done. More than likely, the chase will start for the X Series at Michigan. So we'll keep an eye on that. And if the chase starts at Michigan, then the championship race will be Kentucky. So definitely a favorable racetrack for championship racing. Wide open track, multiple grooves, multiple lanes. Should be very, very fun. We'll keep our eye on this series. And so now we get to the Cup Series, and we start Cup Series news with breaking news. And that is the news that fellow driver, league official, and longtime KMR legend, Speedy, will be departing from KMR. He'll be hanging up his steering wheel and getting a much bigger, more important steering wheel, one that's going to provide for his family and everything. Speedy, we'll take this time briefly to interview you, man. It's been a long time. It's been many seasons of battling and teaming and strategizing and wrecking. It's been very, very fun over the seasons, man. If you could summarize your KMR experience, how would you summarize it?
I would have to say it's been great getting to know everybody, building the friendships I've been able to build throughout the seasons with everybody. Um, get building the respect and being able to race as hard as I race with some of these guys, such as yourself and Fracture and Hairbear. Just get out there, be friends, be out there racing hard, race clean, just so much fun. I enjoy it every time I get a chance to go out and race. Um, I hope this change for me doesn't keep me away for the rest of this time KMR is around. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back to a few races here and there, but unfortunately, yeah, I'm hanging it up for a bit. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so here's my question to you. You've been around a while. What do you think was your best season that you've had in KMR?
I'd have to say the first season on 2015 when I won that championship. I went out there, raced as hard as I could, and against a big, good group of guys, and managed to take that championship.
When you look back at your career, obviously you've ran a lot of races. You won 2 championships. Do you think that you could have won more championships what do you think kept you out of championship victory lane more often than you got there?
I think a big part of some of the stuff that's kept me out of the championship was um, personal issues keeping me off the track. Um, there was a couple of seasons where I just couldn't keep the car in good health, where I could be there at the end. Had so many DNFs, it was ridiculous. It's just, I mean, sometimes you have ups and down seasons, and I've had several of them. But I've enjoyed every minute of
Amen
it.
to the DNFs. Gosh, boy, I tell you, it hurts the wallet, man. It just hurts the wallet. But good lord. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed every single second I've had working with you. I appreciate the opportunities you've given me, help let me be an assistant official and whatnot. Just let me come out here and do what I do best and what I love to do, race. I appreciate all the seasons you've let me do this because you didn't have to.
It has been a pleasure, Speedy. It's been a pleasure to race with you. You've always been a constant competitor, a sneaky one too. You've been the one to come up from behind and bite somebody because of the field strategy, being able to
Mm-hmm.
save, being able to pace yourself throughout seasons.
Yep, you left everyone at
Um,
Auto Club.
what? What'd you say?
Auto Club, remember that he left everyone at Auto Club?
Oh yeah, yeah. Being able to do that is just it takes it takes a special ability to be able to do that. It's something that not everyone has. And so if you two more questions here. If you were to what is one thing you think KMR could improve in the most?
Um, this is for all drivers out there, not just one in particular. More respect on the track. Recently, from what I've seen, there's not enough respect on the track. Everybody's just racing too aggressive, too dirty. Just you should racing should be out there side by side, having fun, door to door racing, not people getting all upset and irritated and wrecking people. And I've seen a lot of that recently, which is something that I would love to see KMR get back to like we used to in 15. That's the number one thing. And number two is just honestly just the respect for other drivers.
Yeah.
Just keep the respect, keep the racing groups clean, just all that. Just mainly respect for everybody. That's the number one key, the respect for everybody.
You viewers out there, if you have any questions for Speedy, feel free to leave them there in the chat.
Speedy, I'm gonna miss
Um,
you, buddy.
Yeah, Sam. It was
yeah, I was
an
just
honor
about
to
to
race
ask
with you.
if any of you guys got a question for Speedy, feel free.
I'm gonna miss racing with you, Speedy.
And I'll miss
Yeah.
all you guys too. It's
And
been a
and
blast.
I gotta agree with Speedy about the whole like drivers like like I've been wheel racing since inside line, and the new generation of drivers like they get upset like when they hit you just a little bit. There's one driver in particular, not gonna mention his name just for the sake of it, but we don't know who it is. But yeah, like people, they kind of get upset. Like racing, they don't. People don't take it as like fun anymore. People could take it seriously, like too serious, basically. Like it's real life. We're not the actual drive. We just do this for fun, and we have try to have fun. Like I joined KMR like a long time ago, and I met these guys, and this was the best move of my life because these guys are now for good friends of mine because they made me feel like I belong here. Sam, the league owner, really appreciate you like giving me an opportunity to show myself, even though I can get out of my boots a couple times, but you still believe in me and stuff. And Speedy, just racing with you a bunch, just seeing you just show everything you got on the track every time just amazes me, and I'm so glad I got to race with you and got to meet you. It was an honor, and I'm glad you race because I don't think I can find any other person to race with than you. So I really appreciate you being here, and I really hope that with your final season before you depart, I hope you can go for that championship and your career on a good note.
If I could be here for the rest of the season, I would be. I've got one more race in me, and that's Dega. I'm done after Dega.
Okay, well, like I said, thank you for everything, man. I really appreciate it.
Speedy, if you were to if someone's looking to join KMR, they say, "Hey, I'm looking to join KMR. What can I expect?" What would you tell them?
I would tell them KMR has a great owner that's fair and very compassionate and really will work with you and help any way he can. He's got a good group of racers behind him that are out there. They're really fast. They're real fun to race against. Um, and he's got some really good officials and people that help him out with the officiating when it comes to making calls that need to be made. It's a fun league to race, and I enjoyed it for the time frame I've been able to run. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back sometime.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was looking back at all of the Talladega races that we ran. You know, starting way back with N14 and going up through history for KMR in the modern era, if you will, as far back as I could go. And I still remember that race in the 47 car at Talladega on the last lap, and I got pent up behind, I think it was Jab or somebody, and lo and behold, I see you drive around the entire field on the bottom and just in the 47 car just sail around and just go and win that race. My jaw
Oh my
dropped
lord.
because I was like, that was my win, and I felt it was just completely and totally snatched
I
away
remember that
from me.
too.
But that was,
Yeah, I
it's
remember.
moments like that that you know we're gonna cherish when we think about you, as along with the list of DNFs and bills
Of
from
course,
you know.
Yeah, can I
it's
say?
pretty
Can I
long.
say
We're
that?
gonna
Real,
think
can I say?
about that too.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like like during the season I started, I never knew him first. Like when Speedy first joined back, like when I was I was still getting used to the league, like he basically pulled a hammer. Like he was in the 47. He won 3 races straight in a row. I mean, like my jaw dropped. I mean, seriously, this he just came back and just blew everyone away. I mean, my God, I was I could never see anyone with that much talent like Speedy. Like seriously, he just blew me away. I just didn't really expect it at the time, but now I just know he's a good driver and he always will be.
All right.
All right, go
Cookie.
ahead, Slothy. I know you've been itching to get in there.
Speedy, I remember Daytona NASCAR 15 when Fracture got when I ended up winning my first Searcher Plate race against you and the 31 and Destroyer and all them. I started on the high side for the final restart. Ended up pulling out to the lead, and then your teammate, the 31, got by me on the last lap, but he was a sitting duck because Destroyer got behind me and pushed me, and I ended up saying, and he was behind Destroyer, and I said, watch this move, and you end up going with me and what helped me win my first Talladega win, and I appreciate that for that.
Yeah,
I was going to give it back to you at Talladega this weekend, buddy.
yeah.
I
I
try
still
to
have a
help
couple.
out everybody when I have a chance.
Yeah, we really appreciate for it. And I actually also have a couple of good memories with you again. They were both at Daytona. The first one was the Daytona 500,
By the way,
and
Cookie, there's another breaking news as well at the Joe Gibb camp. I will not be
Well,
returning.
we'll get to that in
yeah,
a
we'll get to
second.
that later. We'll
We'll
get to
get
that
to that
later.
in a second.
Like it was Speedy. You're a good restricted weight racer. Racing with you is very very interesting because you never you're like a Kobe. You never know when you're gonna strike, and you strike where the least suspected. You're basically the Kevin Harvick of the league. Where did he come from? So Because people sometimes when people see you have a bad race, people would kind of doubt you at first, but then at the end of the race, you just come out of nowhere and just steal the show. And that's why I like about you. You always come out of nowhere, and you show why you're there because no one at least expects you. And at Daytona, at the NASCAR 15 Daytona, it was me and you. We were too wide at the line, and you never door me once. If there was other people, they would adore me, but you side drafted me and you raced me clean the whole time. I like you because you're a clean racer, and like you said, you help people a lot, and I really appreciate you for it because you and Sam, you guys are very both helpful, and I really appreciate you guys helping me at sometimes when I'm in a hole and stuff, and you guys help me make sure to I can be calmed down and I can just try to improve every single week, and I really appreciate you for that. So I really thank you, and I really hope it goes well for you.
I
Be safe over
appreciate it.
that road, man. Be safe over that road. I
Yeah.
don't want to be reading about no Speedy in no newspapers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Jody puts you in handcuffs. I don't want to hear that either because I've heard that a lot.
Okay. Yeah, right, sure. Uh, anyway, so let's briefly, because we used up a lot of our time here, so let's briefly talk about the Cup Series. Obviously, big news is going to shake up the points in a big way. But let's talk about, first off, there's no need to talk about SHR. They are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna waste our time about how
Yeah.
great these guys are because they are great. They are the best team in KMR right now.
Yeah.
They are the fastest 4 drivers on the track
Yes.
pretty much all race long. They work together well. They're headed into Talladega pretty much. Really, all Dopey has to do is just show up. It just finished last place, and we're headed to the chase. So, guys, chase will begin at Michigan for the Cup Series.
Yeah.
No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Yep.
So we're not even going to talk about that. Good job, guys. SHR, you guys have been awesome all race, all season long. So you got to give credit where credit is due. You took care of business from day one. And so you are to be commended for that. Great job, guys. What we really want to know is down here at the bottom because it's very, very precarious. We already know, first of all, that Speedy will be departing. We also have been hearing rumors about another driver in the top 5 that may be departing before the season ends. That's 2 spots that will be available to the series that will be available in the chase. So if we were to subtract 2, that moves JP and that moves Hindu, who already has a win. So you can count him in either way. You can add Ghost. You may be able to even add Beloved into the top 12.
I was about to say I think
But
I'm
just-
already above.
Yeah, you're in 12th.
Okay.
But this battle is so close down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, first off, Ghost Train has been struggling. Guys, the chance Ghost Train gets himself into the chase meaningfully, and not by, addition by subtraction, but meaningfully into the chase, guys. What are your thoughts on Ghost? Does he still have what it takes to win in the series? Been having a lot of electronic issues lately, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about races where he did not have electronic issues. Can he still get it done?
I believe so because I remember the last my first season he won the championship he hasn't lost hasn't lost his grip. He's still showing why he's a championship winner in KMR. So even though if he has what internet issues, he shows every week proving himself with the top 5 that he can go out and win another championship in KMR.
Okay. Slothy, Speedy, what you got?
Speedy, go ahead for a second. I'm doing something.
I think he's got the chance to do it. He's got. I know he's got the speed. He's got the teammates behind him. It's just, if he can figure out what's going on with that connection problem, get that fixed. stay calm and just race the way I know we know he can race. I think he's got a chance. But it's just gonna have to wait and see what happens. And sorry, I was trying to finish this race. I just finished fifth, so.
All right, so now let's play a bit of scenario. Obviously, Sam Cooke, JP, Dale Jr., even Fractured down there at the bottom. They both represent Chevy. They both represent Toyota. Who's going to be the first one to bring either Chevy or Toyota a victory this season?
Well, in my opinion, I'm just gonna exclude myself because that's just for, I think Sam, I think you Sam because I know things have been been rough because you've been involved in stuff that wasn't of your causing, but you're still there though. That's the thing. You're still there and you still have good cars. And I believe you can get a win at either Talladega or Michigan. That's how much faith I have in you. I believe you can do it.
Glad somebody believes in me. Speedy, what you got?
I'm hoping to take the 78 one more time to victory lane before I leave. That's gonna be this Sunday, dig. If I can't push my teammate to the win, I'm gonna try my best to get a Chevy, that 78 car, to the victory lane one more time.
Yep. What about you,
Lofty,
Jody?
you're not included in this conversation, so who you got?
I got the Mr. Cookie Monster winning Talladega.
Yep.
So Chevy being the first one to bring alternate to bring a victory to the field. It has been a Ford showing
Yep.
all season long.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's definitely going to give some momentum to these guys. We used up a lot of our time here with that. So we're going to come in again, obviously, Talladega this weekend. And then obviously we'll have a speed report as usual about Thursday. But there will not be a race next weekend. Obviously, that is the Daytona 500 in real life. NASCAR. So we're gonna tune into the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the outdoor, the trucks.
Get the truck series.
We'll watch the trucks. There we go, and we'll see what those drivers have and get excited about that. So there will be no KMR next weekend, but this weekend there will be. So tune in as I've already said, either Twitch Monster 27 or Jaron Hazen, one of the two are going to have the live feed of that. And we're also working on a broadcaster for the Cup Series. So those watching, if you are interested in being a broadcaster for the Cup Series, please message me. Again, Sam Cooke, 2728785. Let's round this thing off with predictions. Cup Series predictions. Pole winner, race winner, Speedy.
I'm gonna say hopefully me or you gets the pole. Hopefully the CMR car gets the pole, and hopefully one of us CMR guys will get the victory. That's my hope.
Slothy.
Well, I guess he was. I guess I'll be because I guess it's either gonna be me, JP, or Dale gonna get the pole, and it's either gonna be me. I hope it's either me or JP gets the win.
All right, definitely. JP.
Well, okay, so here's me. For Polish, it's me, Jody, Dale, you, Sam, or Speedy. For winner, I'm hoping maybe me because I just really want to win in the season because still haven't got one yet, or maybe get the first one for you, or Jody can pull it off, get the win for Toyota, or Speedy could in his final race can get the win for Chevy one more time. So that's my prediction. What about you, Herbert?
It's gonna probably be one of us CMR guys getting the pole, and the win probably Speedy or Cookie.
Nice.
Well, Cookie, what about you? What do you think?
I'm not gonna have a prediction. I'm the host.
Oh.
X Series. X Series pole winner, race winner in Talladega.
Okay, for me, I think pole winner. I put foreign whip, and maybe for the win, I think foreign terrier or West.
I'm just gonna pick the whole field to win the race. Okay.
I don't
about
know which one.
How about this?
I'm sorry.
I don't care who gets the pole, but I have a feeling Speedy's coming out with the victory at the next series.
Okay.
Speedy,
You-
Speedy, you might be right on that one, but guess what? Don't forget about this driver, the one I'm getting ready to pronounce. There's two of them. Don't forget about Dale Jr. fan and Paint and Pinnacle.
Paint. That's
Dale Jr. fans not in the X Series. Dale Jr. is.
Yeah, Dale Jr.
There are two Dale Juniors.
Yeah,
yes, and that's our junior.
Yeah.
So that's your pick.
Dale Jr.
Okay.
Are you here, bro?
Hair Bear. Forgot all about you, Hair Bear. You're so quiet, man. You got to chime in there and say something.
Am I
man.
the only one who
Chime
remembers them
there.
in the party?
Yes, Hair Bear is probably gonna be like, I don't want to race it with you anymore because you forgot me on the speed report. But he just was so quiet. It's my bad.
He's the silent one. That's the thing.
Just sitting in the studio eating chips and drinking Kool-Aid. I mean, then you got to say something, man.
Probably me.
Okay, I like that.
Race winner, depends. Anything can happen at Daytona. I mean, what did I say Daytona? I mean, Talladega.
It's okay. It's okay. We make mistakes. All right, we make
You're
mistakes.
exactly right. Anything can happen. Yep, Speedy could choke away yet another Talladega victory.
Oh,
Anything
okay.
can happen.
Okay, I don't think we had to go that far.
Truck Series
Okay.
in the chase. Big time implications. Wes already has a victory. Pole winner, race winner, guys, for the chase.
Okay, pole winner.
Race for the
I think
trucks.
I think pole winner, West. Winner, I think West. And okay, for this time, so we don't forget about him. Hair Bear, you go second.
Pole winner, Wool. Race winner, Wesley.
All right, Speed. What about you?
I'm gonna say West, maybe on both.
Okay. Jody.
I'm gonna have to go with Hair Bear.
Hair Bear's on the
Hey.
trucks.
Hair
Hey,
Bear's on the
Tom.
trucks. We're talking about trucks on Xfinity.
Alrighty. Okay. I'm gonna go with West on pole and Speedy. Are you running trucks this weekend?
I don't know. Y'all will have to wait and find out. Y'all know I'm running
Yeah.
trucks, but y'all don't know
And
about.
guess
We don't know
what?
about
Guess
trucks.
what? If Speedy's running trucks, he's my number one pick for the trucks race.
Okay.
And I'm just so surprised y'all disrespected my man Foreign Whip. Okay, so now I got to get in this thing. Wool Tortoise, I say, gets the pole. Foreign Whip's gonna get that dub, man. I think this is the weekend. He doesn't get the monkey off the back. He kills the monkey and throws it away from him. he's getting the victory lane. We want to thank everybody, all our 5 viewers, for joining us. You can join us weekly to Speed Report here,
Hey,
right here on Twitch Muncher 27. And this is KMR signing off.
Cookie, don't forget my
Here we
announcement.
go.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Brief announcement. I apologize, guys. Brief announcement by the
guys.
driver of the number 18.
Guys, I know Cookie and all of I know y'all race there in the summer, but I will not be in the summer series. I will be showing myself back up in the winter series. I am engaged finally. I got engaged Saturday during when we was at the thing. I engaged my girl, Kaylee, and we'll be getting married this summer. So I will not be racing this summer for KMR during the summer series part of it, but I will be returning back, and I'll be coming after SHR for the winter series for the winter part of it.
Congratulations. That's big news. That's awesome news. Congratulations on that.
And what does
Boy,
Cookie
oh
say?
boy.
And what does Cookie say? Family comes first.
What the?
Absolutely. You'll be at least a second and a half slower than you were before. Trust me.
What does the
Dude, he-
cookie
At least,
say?
at least you won't be
slower.
like Cookie and be 5 seconds
Cookie.
slower.
Cookie.
There you go. You will be slower. I'm telling you, because
I'm
family
gonna
comes
make this
first.
announcement on there. You're gonna be 5 seconds slower now because you're not having a pushing partner.
Well, hey Jody.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just be consistent with all my other races. And anyway, we're out of time here on the Speed Report, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for that announcement and everything. And this is KMR signing off.
Yep.
And about the stats of restrictor plates for the X Series. Last person I know that won on a restrictor plate in the X Series was me. If I